And now it's time for line number 2, the mother. The lionesses are being loaded onto a bakkie to transport them to a clearing where the work can be done. Looking at her head, you'll notice a hood. It's been carefully placed over her face to protect her eyes from dirt as well as the sun's rays. Being this close to her belly, if she's not pregnant, my name's Neville.
This could be our last chance to see. She's searching for the truth.
You're back with Wild Limited. Our 2 darted lionesses are being prepared for a contraception examination.
Jaco, I see you've got a sort of identity pet.
Yeah, that's correct. The system we're using is a tri-vein microchips. And the reason we're inserting a microchip in this animal is due to the fact we manage our lion population quite intensively. And by putting in microchips, we're able to identify this individual and monitor the success of the contraception. What this basically is just a little chip with a serial number connected to it, and it's the size of a rice grain. We put it in just under the skin. There's no negative effect on the animal, and by using the scanner, it's got an individual number which we just record in a stud book.
Okay. So there we go, the very first treatment on the mother of the South Pride.
The microchips are important because if these lions get poached, killed or die, they can be identified as Phinda residents.
And that is the happy razor sound that all of you are quite familiar with when you go visit the barber. If you take a look down the abdomen side of the lion, you'll see that chap is busy shaving and getting her ready for a scan. You're going to do a sonar scan, aren't you, chap?
Yeah, that's correct. Just the trans-abdominal one. This hair will go back really quickly, just so that we don't get an interference with the scan.
The ultrasound to check for pregnancy is exactly the same as a human one.
So, chap, this is our potential mother, and if she's not pregnant, then I'm going to be very surprised, because that is a big belly.
I will be equally surprised. On this sonar at the moment, we're looking for fluid around the fetus, any fetal fluid, and we're actually looking for any skeletal structure. It's probably the easiest thing to pick up. And there you can see we've got vertebra. Just need to try and get and that's actually quite a nice cross-section of a cub in the uterus there.
That's it, the very first photograph of our cub.
And with confirmation of the heartbeat, we happily know she's with cub.
It's beating.
Beating away.
The fact that she's pregnant, has the darting process compromised her pregnancy at all?
The drugs that we use are quite safe from the point of view of stress on the fetus. The female herself is not in distress. Her oxygen levels are great. You saw that she only moved probably not more than 15 meters from the site that we darted her. So, yeah, although we don't like to keep them down too long, from a management point of view, the risk is far outweighed by the benefit of the exercise.
Brilliant. So considering the fact that she is relaxed, let's prove it to you. Take a look at her head, and I know that we have a hood over it, which might be a little bit alarming to some of you, but that has very good reason. It's to keep her eyes safe, to keep the grass, the dust, all the little hohos and insects that are around here away from her eye area. And if you feel her breath on my hand here, it's nice and regular. Those breaths are deep. She's in a very deep sleep. She's going to wake up and not know that anything happened.
We can't contracept our older lioness today as she's pregnant, so we move on to her daughter and repeat the process just to be sure.
So this is her 3-year-old daughter. Same thing's going to happen.
Each team member in this process is busy with a specific task. Animals are not often darted, so while the ultrasound is being done, bloods are taken for testing and data is recorded, maximizing the time that the animal is under anesthetic.
The good news is that there's nothing immediately evident, either in the way of fetal fluids or in the fetuses. But even in the event that she is pregnant, the contraceptive will have no effect on the pregnancy.
When you administer the contraception, how long is it going to last?
Contraception is going to last for, we work on 12 months. We think that it can last for 18 months, but we don't want to take that chance.
So is it on like a time release system?
Yeah, it's a sustained release, and it cuts out the support of the reproductive cycle from the brain. So all the hormones that support the ovarian cycle are diminished.
It's very similar to what they do with humans, with females.
Yes.
So this is the reason that we're here, is the administering of contraception.
The contraceptive itself is a little blue pellet, and it goes down that needle.
Oh, I can see.
Pre-packaged in there, so everything here is sterile. And then I just use a bit of methylated spirits just to make sure it's clean at the site of entry. And then it's just a subcutaneous implant. And that's it. She should not conceive within the next 12 months. You can actually feel the little, if you feel carefully there, you'll feel the little thing.
Oh, I can feel it.
It's like a little microchip, like a grain of rice.
Yes, it's tiny.
Yeah.
So by putting this inside her, I guess you're buying yourself time from a conservation perspective in terms of managing the pride.
Yeah, before we need to find either more space or places to send lions to, which we're running out of fast in South Africa. You know, there are not many new reserves that are looking for lions at the moment, which is now starting to become a big headache for us.
We have to manage all our wild species and monitor their population numbers constantly. Without our human intervention, animal populations would spin out of control and ultimately collapse. The contraception process we undertook today is vital so that we can have lions like this in the wild far into the future. Our older lioness is the first to wake, but within a moment she darts away. Ah, an ear twitch. That's the first sign of waking up. And with a big yawn, her daughter follows her. As we drive away, I catch a final glimpse of the two lionesses, one mature, one still young, and have a deep sense of hope for their future. Digital technology provided by Sony South Africa. Production vehicles supplied by Mitsubishi.